For up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation.
The Foundation of Hearts Grant is brought to you by Alive, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, Doctors Hospital, Marco's Pizza, Hunter Towel, Print Masters, and Ron's Electric Motors.
Foundation. Record snap! Come on! When my mama come see the crow, see how they fly. When my mama come see the crow, see how they fly. Fly, fly, fly away. See how they fly. Fly right down in Patches Bay. See how they fly. When my mama come see the crow, see how they fly. When my mama come see the crow, see how they fly. They go, they go, they go, let's go. See how they fly. Fly right down in Abaco. See how they fly. There's a brown girl in the ring. Tra la 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 la. There's a brown girl in the ring. Tra la 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 la. There's a brown girl in the ring. Tra la 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 la. Man, she look like a sugar in the plum. Come on and show me your motion. Tra la 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 la. Oh, come show me your motion. Tra la la la. Y'all come show me your motion. Tra la 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 la. And she look like a sugar in the plum. Blue head water dry, yeah. Nowhere to wash my clothes. I remember one Saturday night. We had 5 fish and Johnny cake. Man take one and satisfy. Woman take two, then she make a move. Man take one and satisfy. Woman take two, then she make a. Man take one and satisfy. Woman take two, then she make a. Man take one and satisfy. Then she said, Miss Lucy, hang herself in the mango tree.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect on this beautiful Thursday afternoon out here in the land of the living. Thursday afternoon, January 23rd. It is a beautiful day, guys. Grateful to be in your company. Grateful to be here in the land of the living. You call me as though I was in the casket. You need to stop and calm down. It's too much. It's way too much. How would you? Oh, Jesus, I sending prayers up. Oh, you all right? I'm fine. I had the little babies make me sick. I mean, figuratively and literally, but I'm here. Happy to be in you guys' company today. I was off for the past 2 days, so I guess you know that. I got a lot of calls. A lot of calls. And Dwight tells me that you guys are calling this switchboard. Where is Howard? Please. I'm so sorry that I wasn't here for you. I'm so sorry. But I had to take a couple of days. My head was swinging. The thing was absolutely bananas. I tried my hardest. I got up and I tried to be able to get myself dressed. On Monday, my head was swinging something wild. Talk to me. And I said, my equilibrium is off. What is going on? I felt horrible. I was congested. Sunday night, I had shivers. Oh, man. Went over to the walk-in clinic on Monday, and that line almost was wrapped around the building. I thought this was COVID-19 again. I said, what's going on? Fellas called me and said that the hospital had a lot of persons too. And my wife, she said a lot of her friends indicated that their kids were sick also. Guys, you got to be able to take your vitamin D and keep your children hand on their mouth, man. That's when these children go into I think that's way a lot of us adults get it. Our kids coming home from their environments, from school and whatnot, and we find out sick. But those symptoms are crazy, man. Make sure your kids keep their hands clean, and for the sake of this and what's happening right now, do your social distancing and keep yourself fresh and clean. Keep your hand sanitizer, so forth and so on. Let's put ourselves in this kind of position. We've already heard that there's a great possibility that you'll see another, sort of an outbreak and some stuff that's happening out west. And I know that the Ministry of Health and Wellness has indicated that they're, looking at this very closely. But I just want to say to you guys that this is not a joke. I feel good. I recovered. I take some vitamin D3, vitamin B12. I took some. I thought it was Augmentin that he gave me, but this is some modified. I don't know. It must be Mexican something. I don't know. But they gave me this, and some cold medicine and whatnot. So I couldn't, overdo it. But I took some, and I felt much better. I feel much better. I'm functioning at least at an 87% today, so I'm good. 13% is the rasp that you're hearing. But I'm here, and hopefully we could be able to make that sort of a monotone, like a Barry White. So, no, I'm just kidding, right? But guys, it's a beautiful day. I'm grateful to be in your company today. And I just wanted to be able to let you know that there is sort of a bug going around. Now, if it ain't that, it's a stomach bug. People get loose stomach, and I'm talking loose like a goose. Don't go nowhere. You're going to hurt yourself and embarrass yourself. So if you got that stomach virus or if you got this flu virus, please stay at home and don't travel out into the environment with those particular things. I know you need your money, but people need their health. And, it's important that we can be able to compromise that when you're better, you could be able to join us out here because that's what I'm doing. I'm in this kind of a space. So I was hoping that Belinda would be able to join me. We set that appointment for next week, Tuesday, the 28th. January 28th, Belinda Wilson's going to be sitting with me here in the studio, and for the entire time, we're going to be talking about all manner of issues. We're going to be talking about this bi-weekly pay cycle. We're going to be talking about this memorandum of understanding. We're going to be talking about this, what our expectations are moving into the next general election, and whether or not this is a ploy for the TUC being able to scorch earth. We're going to be talking about those particular things and having a good conversation of what our expectations are and what we can be able to see from an educational standpoint. So next week, Tuesday, God Spare Our Lives, January 28th, we're going to have a good conversation with Belinda Wilson from the president of the BUT. She was supposed to do it today, but I couldn't squeeze just 1 hour for Belinda. So she says, okay, Howard, let's do it next week. And she said, Howard, time is the news, then play. I can't get to real issues. I say, okay, let's do it next week. So we're going to have that kind of a conversation. I'm looking forward to that, guys. I got to shout out my good, decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They get everything laid out for you. Make sure you go and check them out. They are located number 407 Blue Hill Road South. You want to go down there and check them out, 3411 AFS, 3411 AFS. You are 8 days away from the 3,675 days of January with no money as you continue to be able to eat your saltine crackers and dip it into the noodles and I don't know, whatever you do. Your juju, yeah, because you got to go natural now. You got to go outside and eat. Yeah, so juju and almond, the green ones, you biting that, you doing your thing. Just don't get jaundice. Do your stuff. You got 8 more days to go, right? No, you actually got 6 more days to go. I think the governments get paid 2 days before the end of the month. So you find yourself probably next week, Monday. Oh, yeah, praise Jesus. You got some things getting on, right? You got 7 days. So you can be able to do that, guys. Keep yourselves intact. And as the end of the month approaches and you want to be able to get your insurance and everything, like I said, go down there and check out my guys at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They are located number 407 Blue Hill Road South, 3411 AFS, 3411 AFS. They can take very good care of you in that kind of a space and make sure that you're good in those areas. Also, I got to tell you about this, man. I told you about this before. And I want to be able to say this to you again, that especially during this time, I think a lot of us take for granted. I think a lot of us have that little pouch in our bellies. We have, skin tags, darkness around the neck, bloaty face. You got these kind of things. If you look at your face and you remember yourself in a different space and you say, I didn't always look like this. What's happening? So if you look at your face and you can't remember if this is really who you are, maybe it's time for you to be able to get a colonic. Maybe it's time for you to be able to do that. Not maybe, it's definitely time for you to be able to do that over at Coco Plum Wellness Bahamas. CocoPlumWellnessBahamas.com. You can be able to check them out. Now, this is my good friend. I tell you, why I said that is because she and I had been speaking. I saw her. I saw her husband, Mr. Smith. I saw all those particular persons. When I went over to my good friend Ephraim, we started to have conversations about what can happen. We spoke. I was introduced to them even by Ian, right? We just never got it until my wife needed, to be able to see her. We went down there and had a very good conversation, and she brought alleviation right away. And this is important. I think it's important that we have these kind of conversations. It's Small Business Thursday, so I'm going to expand on it just a bit for you. Women have this hemoglobin issue, right? A lot of women, right? I can't say all women, but I know, growing up with women, we have women around our families, around our lives. And, every time it's that time of the month, your blood get low. Sometimes you find yourself a little constipated. Can I say this? It's okay to talk like this. Howard, you shouldn't talk like this. You should. I don't know woman business, but I know I had a woman a long enough time, and I've been around women. I got women children. And so I know when it comes down this time of the month, you get yourselves weak. You're indifferent. You have all these particular issues, and you find yourself in this kind of position. You may not necessarily be hydrated properly. You find yourself taking iron. If you take too much iron, then you find yourself constipated. And so now you're wrestling, looking for this sort of a balance and don't necessarily know how to find that. You got to be able to call my girl over at Coco Plum Wellness. This is Teresa Adley Smith. She can be able to assist you with that and be able to let you know that this is how you find balance. Sometimes you got to be able to hydrate yourself, and she can give you her personal life story to say that despite the fact that she was in the medical field for a very long time, she's never taken into consideration that she should do this for herself. After going through so much, she finally decided to be able to do sort of a colonic, a cleanse, the colon cleanse, and clean herself out entirely. And when she found herself in this kind of a position, boom, she saw after sessions, her skin changed, got brighter. The swelling went down in her face. She got a before and after picture. That thing is crazy, right? The swelling went down in her face, all the blackness around her eyes, the brown in her eyes, everything actually just, dissipated entirely because she cleaned her gut. And this is not only for women. I think a lot of us men, we find ourselves in this kind of a position where, we're afraid to do this. Can I say this? I was afraid to do this. I did it once, but I'm scheduled to do it again. I just want to be able to let you know this, right? I was afraid to do this. We think about this kind of a macho my privacy. Excuse me. Please forgive me, right? You don't want these particular things happening, but you listen. You don't want no colonoscopy. You don't want to find yourself in this kind of position because you didn't take care of them meat that you like to linger in your bowels for a long time. Take care of yourself while you're here. And you may think that this is extremely expensive. I want to assure you that this is extremely affordable. This is affordable. This is nothing aggressive. It doesn't hurt. Right? My wife was talking to me for the whole time. First time she did it because of an issue. She hold my hand, right? Be there. But this is nothing that is invasive or is going to hurt you. Go down there and check the thing out. Gentlemen, if you have this hard gut, right? If you have a hard gut and you think that that's ab, that's just one ab, you need to stop, sir. That's not an ab. That's an inflatable. You have an issue. Go down there and check it out. There's gas. There's all sorts of things. Go check her out. Our number is 445-8111, 445-8111, or check them out at www.CocoPlumWellnessBahamas.com, CocoPlumWellnessBahamas.com. Every 25th day of the month, today's the 23rd, that means we get in 2 days, every 25th day of the month, you're going to get 50% off. 50% off every 25th day of the month. You're going to be doing that. And then in April, they're going to be celebrating a new opening down there where I can't remember the new location where Prime is, right there in that new plaza in that particular area. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. And so we're going to be there to be able to celebrate with her. And every Monday and every Friday, once you guys can be able to book, Mondays and Fridays, you're going to get 25% off. Just let them know that you heard it here on the foundation. Okay? Mondays and Fridays, 25% off. And every 25th day of the month, 50% off. Guys, don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait until you can't pass at all. Don't wait until you have to go to a doctor to be able to hear bad news about something. Find yourself in a regular position. It is irregular to be able to have a conversation with someone and say, "Child, I ain't passed for a week." What is going on? What is going on? As I continue to pass you mints, I'm trying to be gentle with you and open a gum in front of you and pray to Jesus that you ask me for a piece of the gum, not knowing that you hadn't had a pass for a week and a half. Jesus. Listen, go down there to Coco Plum Wellness and find yourself taken care of, alleviated, and find yourself in a better position. You're feeling that you have gut issues, and those things can be taken care of with your colon. That is pesticides, pesticides, germs, there's all sorts of bacteria and whatnot just lingering there, and that could lead to great issues. So go and check them out, 445-8111, 445-8111. Want to be able to do that. Guys, make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper. All the information's in the paper. Pilot on drug murder charges. This is Roll was shot dead on Father's Day. This is the information. It's in here. We've actually seen Giovanni Roll around the place, all his pictures and whatnot. Guys, I gotta let you know these sentiments, man. My heart goes out to these people. My heart goes out to the Roll family. As they put up signs and billboards all around the place being able to give you $50,000. Did you see the signs? Did you see that? I see that. I saw the signs. $50,000 for, any information leading to finding him, or whatever the case may be. And come to find out that Roll is shot dead on Father's Day. This is a very sad thing. This is a sad thing. And what's even sadder, even more sad, is the fact that, Mr. Ferguson, the person who they found in the papers, who's in the papers actually being indicated for it. It's a sad thing, man. These guys, you've done your best to become a pilot. And for what? For what? It's a noble profession. The world over. This is a noble profession. This is where you take families into flight and you transport them, and we entrust you with our lives. And to be able to sully that, I mean, based upon the allegations, based upon the information that comes to the forefront, I just don't know what is going through people's head. I mean, it is that kind of an insatiable attitude and posture that we have in our society where enough is not enough. And sufficient is never enough. And more is still not enough. And it's just relentless. And you become insatiable. You want more and more and more and more. And this is what leads down this sort of a very, very dark path. And so I continue to be able to pray for these families and their particular stand and what they're going through. BUT alleges that the CV Bethel student threatened a teacher. This is information in the papers. Guys, make sure you pick up your papers. Pintard shoots down the claims of the Free National Movement connected to the political ad. Let's talk about this. Let's see this now. I didn't see this political ad. My producer just sent it to me because I heard him talking about it when I was down, trying to be able to see exactly what's what. But I hadn't seen it. Now I see it. It's in the papers. Joe Beth for deputy. Hold on. The FNM and the PLB finally agree on something. Who put this in the paper? Why are y'all trying to stir up mischief? I think this is so mischievous. This is crazy. It's hilarious. Can I say that? I mean, just from an observational standpoint, as we look on, it's hilarious. But the truth of the matter is that this is improper. And if this is the posture that politics is taking in our country, a lot of people may decide to be able to pull back, because it has to come a point where we dive deeper into our intellectual fortitude, capability, capacity, and our reach. It has to be a point where we come and dive deeper and say, you know what? I've gone off to school. I've done enough of these kind of workshops. I've done enough case studies. I've done enough reading. I've done enough exposure. I've done enough field work. I've done an internship. I've been exposed to a different environment. Why don't I tap deeper into innovation and creativity and present it to our society, right? Why would you go off and get yourself qualified to come back home to do the same skullduggery that uneducated people doing, who's sitting down trying to be able to cook up mischief? I don't understand, where are the people who will help us move this country forward in Jesus' name? Amen. Where are you? I don't know. And if you're out here looking at this and being able to figure out how you could create another level of mischief, you got to stop it, man. You got to stop this, man. I just want to be decent with you. First and foremost, you could leave it in the unholy grail of social media. That is where the debauchery lives. Why would you pull that out of social media into a formal environment? You all people, dangerous. You need to stop. I just want to say that. I am sure someone is going to have to answer for this. Let's be decent about it. This says it's a paid political advertisement. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a good conversation. My guy Avery is going to be here in the studio with me as we continue to be able to have a good conversation about what's going on here. Out here, you know, Small Business Thursday, so we're going to have a good conversation. I don't have anyone set for 1 o'clock, so it's going to be you and I just being able to chop these things down and talk about what's happening over the past few days, talk about some of these executive orders, talk about what our expectations are going forward, talk about these particular things, talk about Adrian White and his relentless sort of agitation and advocacy to be able to always celebrate what's happening with Donald Trump, which is a great thing. And then really talk about this kind of an idea whether or not we should just be able to lambaste Clint Watson for his aspirations to be able to go across the street to Washington, D.C. Because I was getting too. I might as well tell you the truth. I was going. I didn't start to set my money up. I said, Jesus, I think it's going to be a little cold. I didn't call my camera guy. Listen, Howard was going too. Now, that wasn't going to be a nobody dime but mine. I was going too. Because that's a humongous event. But then when they shift everything and go on inside, I said, no, they wasn't going to let Negroes in there. I only counted 6. It was 6 or maybe 5. I think it was 4.5 in the room. So I said, I know I couldn't get there. So Jerome ended up speaking with the ambassador to the United States of America, and Clint Watson ended up being able to Skype or Zoom in and have a conversation with Maxine Waters. So we're going to be able to see those things and have a good conversation about it. But when we get back, we're going to have a good conversation with Avery Lightbourne for MTS rebar, the fiber rebar, and being able to talk about those things when we get back right after this.
Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Attention Marco's Pizza lovers in Freeport and to our Cable Beach customers. We have heard you. Marco's $10 carryout, 1 large, 1 topping pizza is now available at all locations. That's right. Whether you live out east, west, central, south, or in Freeport, Marco's has you covered. Call in or order online and pick up in restaurant today. Marco's is getting bigger and better by the moment. Visit This unbeatable deal is available for a limited time only.
Great news! Ron's Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation. When we get back at 1 o'clock, we can have a good conversation. But now I want to be able to introduce you to someone who has been agitating, advocating, and really pushing for this crusade for conservation. I like that. You should write this down.
I write that down.
Okay, you write it down?
Conservation.
Oh, let's do Conservation Crusade. I like that. Yeah, write it down. Bang, bang. Put it down. Boom.
I can
So we
type
get
it
that.
in.
Right? So he's been really talking about this, and I know it may be peculiar that it's starting from this particular angle. But, you know, a lot of persons in this dispensation have been doing that since we've already gone back and, the Paris climate, what do you say, the Paris climate ripoff. Hey, Trump is a dangerous man. I just want to let you know that, right? Since we've already pulled back from those things, we pulled back from the WHO, we pulled back from all these things, there is a responsibility that we have as individuals, as organizations, as a company, as a people, to still be able to view ourselves in the position and in the light of moving towards conservation. So wherever you are, I'm hoping that you're doing your part. And Avery Lightburn is with us today, being able to continue to push his part with what he does over here at MST Bar. Yeah. And now you've been talking about these things for a little while with our development, our construction, and being able to talk about the fiber reinforcement polymer. Say good afternoon to the people, my brother.
Good afternoon, and thank you again, Howard, for allowing me to come and express to the Bahamian people how important it is to do their part in the world. I'd like to say I thank God for this opportunity and for my family and all of the supporters that have been pushing me forward in this entrepreneurship venture. It has been a long journey, and I encourage anybody that has the fortitude to do it to empower themselves in looking for that gift that God has given them, and let it make room for them.
Let's dive deeper into this quickly today.
I got you.
Yeah,
I've been hearing you, so I know you got a lot.
Listen to me. I've been reading and watching and this and that. Everything. I watch Trump every night.
Jeez, so
this is so entertaining. You have no idea.
It's the number one show.
And this is the number
in
one
the
thing.
world.
I'm watching this.
The ratings are through the roof
I can't
on
believe this.
every media station right now.
Again, looking for more Trump every night.
It's overloaded. You have to look for it.
I wonder what Trump
You have to
talking
look
about
for it
tonight.
or search for it. You don't have to search for
Let
it
me see what Trump talking about tonight.
every day.
And so he's taken on this kind of position where his whole posture has been drill, baby, drill. It's really being able to move back towards, he signed the executive order to ensure that all government employees and all those persons in the military arm find themselves back to work.
Right.
So wherever you were displaced, wherever you were around the world, wherever remotely that you were working, get back home now.
Yeah.
That's one. The second thing is that he says that we're going to get jobs back to America. They're getting back to the coal mine. They're getting back to drilling. They're getting back to all these things. That means they're getting back to oil.
Right.
If they're moving in this particular direction, do you believe that conservation is sort of an idea for this level of product that you're being able to have that talks about preservation, conservation for long term?
Right.
Do you believe that it still has a space, if not in the marketplace, at least for the next 4 years?
Well, I mean, America, 87 million people, it was split in half, 87, 80, or whatever you want to do. America was split in half, meaning half of the country wanted sustainability, moving forward with climate change, and I still think that they believe in that. I believe more than half believe in protecting the earth and protecting the world. I think that there's only those few who benefit from it tremendously, want it to stay the way it is, because why wouldn't you want to protect the planet for the future? Why would that message be one of hocus pocus, that you actually want to conserve and have green spaces and stop destroying the earth to get these minerals and all of these different stuff? Why not sustain? Why is sustainability a divisive topic? So for me, I just think that it's a few who are really benefiting from not protecting the planet or continuing to do old ways of making old money. And we've seen this time and time again. I mean, video killed the radio stars, right? That's what that's what the songs say, right? So every time that we evolve and new technologies are created, and we see them being able to benefit us and also benefit our future generations, I think that majority of persons that live on planet Earth are for that message, and the persons that are actually benefiting from it are the ones that are going to push back, and they may have enough money to get some people on with them to make it sound like it is actually the message of the world.
It's heavy, you know. The truth of the matter is, when persons start taking this kind of a posture, big conglomerates, big corporate, big entities carries messages that the masses pick up.
Yeah.
Big. America has taken the message of PAHO and the World Health Organization and so forth and so on, and being able to pump almost 20% of their gross income. This is what America has actually contributed on an annual basis to be able to assist with what's happening around the world, to bring education, to bring all these particular things. So when we see PAHO, when we see all these things, this is a result of a significant portion of finances coming from a big person, a big entity that actually speaks to these particular things, right? And so when you see big organizations being able to take on a position to say that this is the way that we're moving in the direction of, you normally see the country or a people move in that direction. Naturally, okay, yes, that's what we're doing. We move in that direction. We've seen our government actually take on this posture, listening in the other day to the ambassador to the United States of America, Wendell Jones, sit with Jerome. I didn't hear the whole thing. I think we're going to hear it tonight. But he's taken on this kind of position to say that the country is still going to be able to move in this position and do what's right for the country. What is right for this country? Do you believe that conservation is one of the right things for this country? Talk to me about that.
Well, I think it is. We are the leader in the world, I think, for climate change. I think we have a position where I think our location, for one, our green spaces that we have, our mangroves, of course, and all of the studies that has been around our country when it comes to natural resources that we have, when it comes to sustainability and carbon footprint, we have a very good track record, and I don't think that's one that's going to be ignored by the world and the persons that are educating us about this stuff. I'm a former member of PAHO. Actually, I did the disaster management course, and so I'm very familiar with the things that they're doing throughout the world when it comes to disaster management. And I think they still hold a lot of credibility, especially throughout the Caribbean. And we have to also look at focusing on the things that benefit us. We have to really look out for us and not just chase after what everybody else is going with just because it's popular. We have to understand what we have and use that to leverage what it is that we need. If we're the ones leading when it comes to climate change, and yes, we need capital, and yes, we need financing, but we still have the leverage because people still want to come. So we are in a position where we have the golden goose. We just have to know how to leverage it and how to negotiate with it. And until we find a way, rather than just take the first bite, right? Don't take the first person that bite because they come in with a bag of money. Find out some things about it and make it more difficult, so it's like a bidding war, right? A bidding process. So you say, okay, well, I like how you sound, but let me check this fella over here to see what he's dealing with, because I'm not going to jump for the first thing that comes with an offer and say, this is what I'm going to give you. So I think negotiations, need to continue and put the best negotiator in our country to the forefront. Let's get people involved who we know have the expertise to do it. Because if you send somebody who, let's just say, I'm not going to go too deep into the politics, but if you send somebody on the behalf of the country, an ambassador for the country, to negotiate based on us getting some revenue for something, and persons wanting to come into the Bahamas for whatever investment, we have to have the best negotiator in that space, understanding exactly what we have to offer as the Bahamas, so that we see the value in what we have and leverage it, and then we know what we want for it. We still have that power as a people. I think we've sold ourselves short in certain instances when it comes to what we have, but it's not too late. The generation, people are still being born. Babies are still out there. We still have educated people. We still have conversations going on with the educated people in different forums, and you'll find them all through Nassau. There's so many smart people on the radio stations and sitting at your local bars or churches, wherever. We have enough people here who understand what we have. We just got to get them in the space and not have it so divisive from a political standpoint, right? That this is the best negotiator no matter what their political standpoint is. This is the best negotiator we have, and they're going to represent the country well, so we get what we need. They always talk about a national plan, right? We have to have that. We have to have a script that people are measured on, not just what you come in with. You could have your things that you want to do for the country and your legacy as a party coming in, but there has to be a mandate as to where the country has to go. And just like sustainability of the world, we have to have a mandate to say what is going to sustain our country. These are the points, and in your term, you have to address, and these are the things now you are graded on. How well did you manage this item that you had to do that isn't part of the national plan? How well did you do this? How well did you do that? And then when you do that, then what are some of the extra things that you did for your legacy as a party, right? What is the legacy that you're leaving behind? Something that may be added to the list, or something that you did legacy that catapult this thing 5 or 10 years ahead of where of the original plan, right? And so anybody jumping into that, they would have to be able to speak on all of those points.
I like this, I like how you continue to be able to relentlessly speak to the overarching objective of not only what you're doing with the MST, the rebar, when you're being able to do those particular things, right? And how you're pushing to ensure that persons can find sustainability, growth, and development for their major investment, their home, well into the future. And if you're doing commercial, definitely into that particular space also. But what you're doing is being able to change the mindset of people.
Right.
These conversations that open you up, that cause you to look beyond this sort of a curb, right? A lot of persons didn't recognize that you can be able to go, you can continue to go around this curb for growth and development. A lot of persons just stopped at this juncture and not being able to take another step, because this is far, as we know as a society, this is what we do.
Right.
There has been an us and a them. There has been segregation. There has been this unspoken aspect of where, we don't do that. That's for them people. That's for those, you know what I'm saying? And so when you find yourself stepping into these environments and you open it up, and people say, oh God, well, we could do something like that, eh?
Yeah.
And I think that there will bleed into more than one industry. Whilst we're having a conversation about construction, we like to be able to see this move into other spaces that persons could be able to open up and give it a try.
Well, that's. I don't want to go too far off topic, but there's formulas that can work in any space. There are formulas for construction. There are formulas for. Let's just talk about the association. And one time for the Mr. Leonard Sands and Debbie Dielos with the BCA. I'm proud to be a part of that organization. And they have a show tonight. Nailed It is going to come on tonight at 6:30. I advise and encourage everybody to tune in, because they have some awesome topics in construction that you want to be a part of, as far as legislation and the things that we can actually accomplish in this country. And help. Like, there are a lot of young men in this country are doing construction, Howard. A lot of them. I'm talking about that's their trade. Construction, I think, is the number one industry where young men go into, and it's a no-brainer that they just walk into it. They don't have to go to certification, whatever. They could go on the job and lift a bucket of cement. They could go on the job and lift some rebar. They could go on the job and just hold up a wood. So they, as helpers, right, learning their trade as that. But I think we can expand on that. And I think the BCA has a plan to expand on that for every Bahamian. So in sustainability, when you talk about sustainability, you're talking about sustainability of our young men, sustainability of work and enterprise in this country from young business people. So let's talk about how do we make that happen. If you have an organization like the BCA, right, who is not political based on my experience, they really are looking at making sure that this construction industry is sustainable. And we have a golden opportunity now, being a country with the opportunities to be a sustainable country. Our carbon footprint can be low. We have a place in the world, and the world is benefiting from our existence. And so if we pass that mindset on to our people, so the BCA is doing sort of, they're going to I think they can champion that with the amount of young men that are in the industry of construction. I think the BCA have a golden opportunity if they can gain the control of what we're trying to actually put forward with training programs, right? That when you are part of the BCA, there's training programs that you can upgrade your skills. And now I'm setting up training courses even with BTVI and different organizations. They have persons who do what they call apprenticeship programs, like Overtime Roofing. They were doing an apprenticeship program over the summer. He has, that's Mr. Glenn Thompson. He has a roofing company where he was teaching how to do truss roofing, right? And these are things that are in our industry that people are doing from small business standpoint. So we could train our young men in this in this industry. And we have I heard the Deputy Prime Minister speak about Airbnb being the way forward for the Bahamas. I wholeheartedly endorse that. You know why? Because imagine every island, right? Imagine the construction part, first of all. If every island, all the young people on the island, by the time as they get out of school, they have an opportunity to own an Airbnb, right? Because tourists come to every island in the Bahamas. We only got, 17 populated? How much we have populated? 60? 27? Okay. Whatever islands are populated, we have enough people to disperse to each of these islands, I think, or from these islands, who have at least a little Airbnb on the island, right? And so when we have everybody being able to be empowered with an Airbnb, because tourism is our number one resource, use that opportunity to say, this is where we're going. We're targeting people who want to get into the Airbnb heads and beds because it's not enough. Exomi, you can't find nowhere. People sleeping on people's couch and porch when you go over there for regatta. Empower them in that way with all of the programs where you give grants, that this is for the building of the communities. We are encouraging everybody to go into Airbnb. Let me see your model. Let me see your plan. Make sure you bring in your certifications or whatever. We can do the vetting process to make sure that the business model of it is going to be right. We're going to give people the opportunity to guide you. They have something similar to it now. I don't know how potent it is, but it should be encouraged for every island, blanketed, every island. If you want an Airbnb, come to us. We could do it through the SBDC or the lending agency.
I think the spirit of the concept is the spirit of the concept, but there's always room to debate the execution. I don't want to give Airbnb my money. That ain't for them.
Well, I'm talking more about the concept.
The concept.
We could create that.
We already didn't create it.
Well, then that's what I'm saying. We are the number one Airbnb. I think that's
where they get it from.
Well, then that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have
people program.
People to people. That's
the people program.
It was, yes.
The concept and idea of people to people. Right. Revive that as the Minister of Tourism, come back, fortify that with the Hotel Encouragement Act, say if you afford these particular opportunities, if 10 of you all come together, pull these particular things together, we'll give you the $50,000 you're looking for, we'll let you bring things in free, we'll do this, we'll do that. This is how we do this.
Hold on. I forgot about people to people.
This
You're
is people to
absolutely
people.
right. You're absolutely right.
Airbnb, you can tell me by Airbnb, I got to pay Mark Zuckerberg, I got to pay taxes, I
Yeah.
got to pay Uncle Sam, I got to pay everybody. No. Create a space that if you come
To the
we will-
Bahamas, this is
if you
our
live
site.
in the Bahamas. If you live in
Yeah.
the Bahamas and you want to create an opportunity for people to be able to dine with you, you
Right.
got to go through this course.
Yeah.
You got to do this. You got to do that. So we know that you're certified and your environment could be able to take these people in. Then, boom. The government of the Bahamas will provide you mobilization money to do this. Boom, boom, boom. You identify your grouping, ensure that you get yourself incorporated, licensed, insured. Boom, boom. Once you do these things formally, the government of the Bahamas can be able to reap the benefits.
Because they could tax it too.
You could-
now I'm
You could
comfortable.
tax me.
Now I'm comfortable.
Because
I'm making money.
You help me.
Yes.
You
yes.
help me make money.
Yes.
Now I'm happy to be able to get
Collect
some-
your taxes.
Come here,
Let me
man. These are
collect your
taxes,
VAT.
man.
See
You
your
know,
VAT. See
I
your
got
VAT,
the thing
yeah.
for you. You coming by today? You know, I got your thing here.
Yeah, because it
All right.
boy. Wow.
This is why I'm trying to say these things to you.
yeah.
This is why I don't want to get political with you.
Don't get political.
I don't want to
because-
get political.
because what I'm trying to do is I
The
understand.
concept is a beautiful concept.
Yes, and I'm saying we have to push forward. I will. I with you, Howard.
We got to do the right thing.
I think it is.
We got to do the right thing to empower the people. And I believe, like I keep saying, I believe that what you're doing in terms of being able to push forward and get these things done. And there's kind of an idea to expand beyond this. There's kind of an idea to be able to reach deeper into the dark shadows of our community where persons are not productive and making things happen. This thing can do it now.
Well,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Because I'm
yeah.
doing a little piece of construction right now. I got to show you the video. I'm
Yeah.
doing a little piece of construction right now. I've been making some beautiful things happen, and I'm looking to how can I empower these people, man? I look here. I'd like to get a program. These fellas I see on the road, I want to be able to put them like this. These are things that we could be able to do together,
Yeah.
and I believe that this is what you're doing with your stuff. Let persons know how you can be able to pick up some stuff.
Yeah.
Now you ain't tell me if you got anything going on just yet.
Yeah,
as it relates to.
we could work on it. Right now, the shelves are getting empty and the trucks are flowing down from the factory. We are in business. We have our development with MST Bar is in business, and you can get us at 603-4506. Call us at 603-4506 down at the office, or you can WhatsApp us or call at 822-9527. That's 603-4506. 822-9527. We are located in the Dugard Plaza, second floor in Palmdale, and you can call and ask for pricing. And these things are going hot. Everybody who is building, whether it's new construction or repairs, we are able to facilitate. They're moving fast. I advise you, if you see us don't have something on the shelf right then, you could leave, put in an order, put in a request for order, because there's some things that are special ordered that you may have to, do a little waiting process. But what you're doing is you're waiting on something that you're using for your investment. Everything that you from the foundation is where you're starting, and you want a strong foundation. And so MST Bar is the alternative, the conventional steel rebar, and we have it at a great price at $26 per bar now. And if you get a bundle, we have 96 in the bundle. That's the 5/8 rebar. We could go from number 2 to number 19 in bars. So all those coastal construction, anything that is on the coast, we can facilitate. We have all our bends. If you need to bend, bending on site is not the only way to go, guys. We have custom-made bends. So we have the 45, we have the 90s, we have all our stirrups from 7-inch to 10-inch. We have the 5x9 stirrup, 4x8 stirrups, corner stirrups, T stirrups, 5x13 belt stirrups. All of them at affordable prices. We have our 10-foot columns. You can come and get them custom put together, assembled if you want. You want to order the assembly ready-made so you can plug and play or just pick up off the site. You can call in and order. Hey, I want like 5, 6, 7, 20 foot, no job too big, no job too small. You want your mats made up and you just come and put them on the truck, or we can deliver for a little fee. We can deliver it. And we have a very good team. The turnover time or the lead time is not very, very long. If you're making a big order or order that is an oversized order, it's best that you put in those orders. We have a truckload on the way this week, and we have 2 container loads, meaning it'll be on the way on the boat. So,
All right, give me the number again.
Yep, 822-9527 or 603-4506. You can call us at the office and ask our pricing.
And guys, if you want to be able to check them out, it's frpbahamas.com, frpbahamas.com. You can be able to find them. They're right there on the internet. Just find out more information. Avi Lightborn, I want to thank you, my brother. Every time you come here, I'm inspired.
It's a pleasure
To have more and more conversations about conservation because, the synergy and being able to have like-minded persons who want to be able to see the country blossom is always a wonderful thing.
Well, Howard, I just want to thank you again for believing in what I'm doing and promoting it. Just remember, everybody, just put God first. Let him give you the idea. Find a problem.
Make sure it's God, back.
Yeah, find a solution.
Tell him make sure it's God, eh?
All is God.
Let him make sure it's God. Because he'll come tell you, oh my God, I hit this number. Hey, it's God.
No, but baby.
God showed me.
God didn't show you the number. In a dream. In a dream.
God showed me this number.
In a dream.
The shark opened his mouth and say 745. But y'all need to stop it. In Jesus' name, I can't even get in business.
745.
Guys, we're going to be able to get to a commercial break, get to news, and when we get back, we're going to have a good conversation. I'm going to open up the line so we can talk about what's happening in the country. We're going to take this break, my brother. Thanks for being able to be here with us today, have this good conversation, all right?
Thank you.
All right, we can see you next time. Guys, quick break. Get to news. Going to be right back after this.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Pinda has a new line, the Sky series of porcelain. It comes in 4 colors: Sky Noir, Sky Gris, Sky Glance, and this one, Sky Azure. As the name suggests, you would think it has a strong blue component, but the blue is kind of like just a hint in the overall coloring of the porcelain. The blue feature runs more or less the center of the tile, and that's surrounded by light shades of gray. The Sky Azure, like the others in the series, needs to be seen to be appreciated. Stop by Pinda Tile and have a look at Sky Azure, one of the 4 in the Sky series.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company. The lines are wide open. If you want to be able to join me in conversation, I'd love you to do so. Give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere for the family of islands. 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796 on the text line. Let's have a good conversation to talk about what's happening in the country. We made modifications. I know that normally we dive deeper into this. We didn't book anything with Ian today. I didn't hear from him. Plus, I wasn't sure if I was going to be under the weather or whatnot, so I didn't book anything with him. So I'm here. We're having a conversation, guys. I'd love you to be able to join me in talking about these things. The U.S. Coast Guard increased maritime patrols to the Bahamas borders. After some of those executive orders yesterday, Trump has taken on a very strong position. A lot of persons are indifferent with those particular things and indifferent with his posture of being able to identify the jurisdiction of the United States of America and the sovereignty that exists in that space only identifies male and female gender at this particular point. Yeah, y'all can fight. There's going to be a lot of fighting. A lot of persons, including the bishop that actually prayed over him, has indicated that pray to God that he would change his mind for the lesbians, for the gays, and for those persons who are non-binary and so forth and so on, taking on that kind of a posture. I think that Trump is a proverbial quote-unquote, like how the fellas say, he's an old dog. And I don't mean anything, disparaging about that. What I mean is that he is solidified in his way, his posture. This is who he is. This is what we fought against in 2017. This is what the world fought against in 2017. We thought he was obnoxious and arrogant and foolish and not being able to curb to the whims of change and time. And all of a sudden, time shifted. Things change. Some things have happened from a global standpoint. Locally, some things have happened with some modifications to think, how community operates, and people have made different choices. Now, yesterday he says, I don't see him as a good guy or a bad guy. I see him as a necessary guy to be able to fight for what is needed, fight for what is right. I thought it was crazy that he has become a savior of sorts. I thought it was crazy. I want to commend him. I want to commend him in his posture, in his position. I believe that now the PLP, and I got to say the PLP, because this PLP government has taken on their image to reflect where their anticipation of the money would lead. There had to have been some sort of trajectory. They identify that they anticipated that it'll land in this particular area. And I think 2020, with the introduction of our country being able to take such a contingent to COP26 and the agitation for our prime minister to be able to speak about as what was happening as it relates to climate change, has placed this country in the position where we have become slaves to the rhythm of what's happening to climate change. And the success of the PLP organization, for the most part, from an international standpoint, and eventually translated locally, had to do with what was happening with this agenda from an external standpoint, this climate change agenda. Boom, that thing is out the door. Not for 100% of the world, but if the most influential and the most paid, if the most influential element leaves the room, it's only time that this entire thing. Now, that's not going to stop climate change, because it's not, right? It's snowing in parts of Florida that hasn't snowed in 200 years right now. That's not going to stop climate change, but that's definitely going to be able to shift the agenda, and where the emphasis and the effort is placed, you're going to have to find yourself a new pony. I don't think the PLP has time for that. I don't think the PLP has time for that. I'm impressed with this kind of full court press that I see that the Free National Movement is putting on. It's a full court press. Howard, what are you talking about? Okay, let's go. It's full court press, by the way. Let's go. Front page, Guardian newspaper. I know I got to be able to shout out the persons. This I didn't do this today. I got to be able to do this. I think it's important. I think it's something that we have to be able to do from a nationalist standpoint for those brothers and sisters who've passed away. I always like to be able to take the time to identify this and look at the papers. And for our brothers and sisters who've passed away, I always say to you that I just pray that the Father continues to be able to watch over the families and just be able to keep them in that kind of a space. And I say to you that if you're one of those persons, as we look at the obituary, if you're one of those persons who are tasked with the responsibility of being able to put your loved one down, and you need to be able to deal with those particular things, I've always said to you, you can go check out my good, decent people over at Butler's Funeral Homes and Crematoriums. They can be able to take wonderful care of you as it relates to being able to capture the true essence and character of your loved one and put them in the space, be able to celebrate their homegoing celebration. So you can be able to go down there and check them out, right? They are located on Ernest and York Street, just south of the Portage Key, right in the back of the Pink Plaza right there. They can be able to do that. So let's go. There's full court blitz. Let's check out what the Free National Movement has done. Front page, Pintard shoots down the claims of the Free National Movement connected to the political ad. Third page, Adrian White voices support for Trump. F&M, the debate was cut short after the F&M leader brings up Mace matter. Now, third page. That's the third page. Here we go. Fourth, A4. Minnis has brought his brand of helter-skelter politics to the F&M, right? Now, this is only in the Guardian. Did I pick up a Thursday Tribune? I did. Let's check it out. Let's see what we got. Front page for the Tribune. White questions Lorota Zednes inauguration trip. He puts that out there, right? Then you go to letter to the editor. You can be able to see more information as you find out more stuff about this and you go through, right? You can be able to see them on the 5th page again. And then you go to the letter of the editor. It's like a blitz. It's like a blitz. You got persons being able to speak on behalf of the Free National Movement. Minnis' 52-week failure fixed. All these things is happening. You got Pia Glover Roll. Oh, that's Pia Glover Roll. I saw Brenzel Roll being able to write. But these things are all over the place. And it seems as though the FNM has taken on this kind of position that everyone should find themselves either on social media, traditional media, in the media spaces. I've gotten a lot of calls from the Free National Movement members and saying, how would I want to come and sit with you? How would I want to come sit with you? They didn't ask me to send an invoice. You know, that's kind of a casual thing. How would I want to come sit with you? Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll be home around 2:30. You could sit right with me on my porch. That wouldn't be a problem. But I just try to be decent with you. We could sit outside on my porch if that's what if you want to sit. But if you want to be able to come out here and be able to speak to your constituents and potentially find yourself in the posture of being able to campaign, yeah, that's a whole different story. And we want to be able to formalize that. We are in an election year. That's it. I think the formality and the casual posture and approach is now drifting to the side. And for you to be able to find yourself in a position that you want to do it, yeah, let's get to the business and let's do those things. So we can be able to do that. But the Free National Movement is being able to take advantage of every slit and crack and every nook and cranny to be able to find in front of political conversation to say that the PLP is inept, they're incapable, they are out of date, they are, and it seems as though it's getting frustrating because I listened to my good friend, Fred Mitchell, says, open your flipping ears. Listen, this is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot that's happening. And you shouldn't crack under the pressure. You should remain persistent, composed, and, always, on the up and up. Don't let these fellas see you sweating. Because that's when they can put it on. They can lay it on thick. Now, I don't know, and I just want to talk. I don't know whether or not the PLP has identified any modified posture and approach to be able to do these things. What I got to watch the entire thing. What I've heard Randall Jones in his capacity as an ambassador to the United States of America state, as it relates to some of the questions that he was asked from Jerome Sawyer, just what the average person would ask about the indictments, about speculations associated with the executive orders and, Trump signing off on those particular things. I was satisfied with absolutely nothing he said. Can I say that? Is it okay? I was satisfied with absolutely nothing that he said. I wasn't satisfied with it. I thought it was the political fluff that you hit someone with this sort of a rhythm in the midst of conversation, but there was no consideration for the fact that you were being recorded that your authority and position goes far beyond talk show host, and you now have the responsibility of being able to look over the United States of America. Bigger as it relates to your America is Captain America. You are the ambassador to the entire United States of America. And so that kind of a posture and flippant answer without depth and detail for us to be able to understand and grab more meat. And I don't think I should go any further than that, because the truth of the matter is I got to watch more. But what I've seen so far, it didn't give me the insight that says that the government of the Bahamas is assured on this particular position, and we know our posture, and this is the particular path that we're going to be. No, I have not heard that. What I've heard is that we all were taken back by Trump making such swift decisions and going contrary to the rhythm of what's been played and what's been placed before. We know Trump was going to do this long time. Long time. It's not sufficient for our prime minister to be able to say that the biggest fight against climate change is the change in political law. That don't have nothing to do with the fact that Trump already win. That's what we're talking about. What does that have to do with your approach to ensure that we can be able to move with conservation, that we can identify the allies within our region, to make a determination as to whether or not we're going to continue to move forward? You all wouldn't even have a conversation with the people ambassador. I hear nobody talk to Herschel Walker yet. Oh God, let me call Herschel. I ain't heard nobody talk to Herschel Walker yet. You're talking to Maxine Waters? That's what I see. What you doing? What you doing? What we doing out here? I know you have relationships, but now you got responsibilities. I'm only a lowly talk show host on Guardian Radio down here. I just try my best. Yeah. Nobody move heavy from an international standpoint because I don't have the government on my back. I'm here as a talk show host. And so as I observe these particular things, I do my best to be able to assess these things. I try to be able to reach out to these things. I've gotten Herschel Walker's email to do those. Did I tell you I was getting to New York? Oh, I told you I was going to D.C. I was going to D.C. I didn't make 4 calls. I said, look here, how much you can charge me if I tell you let's go here for this time? And boy, he said, but how where we can stay? I said, man, listen to me. I ain't ask you all them kind of questions. You didn't take you someplace and I ain't gonna tell you that you say. I said, how much you can charge me? And he never liked to tell me price. He said, oh man, how man, we can work it out. We can work it out, right? But I just couldn't do it. It was too short notice. For me to be able to get there, for me to be able to get my press pass and all those particular things, this is why I didn't go. It's because I had to put that information in before December 15th. And I just came up with this sort of an idea over the Christmas holiday. I promise you. So I wasn't consumed with that. Sidebar, I really need a producer, an individual person who could be able to assist me in being able to get this stuff. Yeah, I've been looking for one. Talented, who can be able to help me go ahead and construct these things. Yeah. I already got Herschel's information, all that stuff. These things are easily accessible. I got everything, numbers, everything. I said, let me call Herschel, see what's happening. We have to open up our eyes, man. Conduct our country in terms of being able to move towards the future is relentlessly being able to genuflect and ask the past what you think about this move towards the future. There's never going to be enough of an understanding, enough of a genuflection, enough of the liberty to allow tomorrow to breathe. Because yesterday was the good old days. Yesterday was the good old days. I shoot straight with that. Numbers to call, 323-623-5431-6, 325-425-9. Anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up, 422-4796. Call on the line, go ahead.
Yes, Howard, how you doing? Charlotte Johnson.
All is well, see Alan, what's happening?
Not much, man. Let's talk about fantasy versus delusion versus hope.
Let me hear it.
Or 3 involve a mental construct that are not necessarily based in reality, okay? Fantasy is a vivid imagination of something unlikely or impossible. A delusion is a fixed false belief held in spite of evidence to the contrary. And hope is a positive expectation for a desired outcome, even if uncertain, which is generally considered a healthy mental state. Unlike delusion, essentially they are all the same, without an actual means for execution. Okay? Now, we've been living in the state of delusion in regards to copying people things. I always use the expression that we like to warm ourselves by other people's fire. Okay? Even though we have the capability of building our own. So the question then becomes, have we ever had, I know we have guys had a nice talking session the previous hour, but do we have an actual strategy that's independent of the knee pads we wear? Because it seems wherever we go in the world, our leadership knees hit the ground before their hand reaches out to the other man's hand. Begging.
You know, but we talked about this. We talked about how they got to learn how to play poker. They have a horrible poker face. From they come in, the fellas could see these set can beg. From they walk in the door, that the first thing that they put on the table, you say, okay, yeah, man, that sounds good, man. $1 million? Yeah, man, that's it. Yeah. We can go with that. No valuation of the things that belong to the Bahamian people to say, no, sir, this is our value. Y'all need to come to the Bahamas. We don't need to come to y'all. Y'all want to come here.
But Howard, you're correct, because what happens is if we had a product, we wouldn't be running around the world begging. The product itself is sell. The question is, what our strategy? I want you to think in the food store, Howard, and this is like how I say this is our strategy. We walk around the store. First, let me say, 95% of every production in the world today depends on oil. 82% of everything made have some oil derivative in it. Okay? So this whole concept that we're going to make the world carbon-free, it's called the Garden of Eden and leaves. Okay? So we have now convinced ourselves that we can devoid ourselves of carbon in 5, 10, 15, 20, even 100 years. It's an impossibility. What will save us, what will save the world, is not the lack of consumption, but innovation. Innovation has saved the world for all of the things we've ever had. So when we start talking about carbon capture and utilization of carbon dioxide and all these other things, we're trying to find that one big innovation. But just talk about the food store. We go to the food store, we buy cooking oil in a plastic container, we buy water in a plastic container, we have our meat wrapped in plastic, we open the bag of chips from plastic, we use the can to open the can that oil used to generate. And then, you go to the entire store, Howard, and then we get to the door and we said, you ain't getting no plastic bag because that's going to destroy the world.
I always baffle with that,
So wouldn't recycling and education and the circular economy that we talk about be a part of that process? But this is where we talk about the delusion that we have a one-eyed Milan saying that he's having impact. That's the Bahamas. And we are begging. We have no strategy to mitigate climate change or global warming or climate freezing, whatever you want to call it, whatever science you want to use. Real or imagine, what is our strategy? Because where the climate change is real, and first of all, we need to have people, if you can, argue against climate change. You shouldn't be arguing for climate change. Mm-hmm. But let's use the fact that we want to, how are you going to build a house? Mm-hmm. With or without climate change, building a house from ICF to cut your electricity bill by 90%, put it using solar and all these other different things to reduce your cost, makes sense with or without climate change. Climate change may be a benefactor. But we talk about, let's go solar, let's go wind. And then we say, we don't look at, or even let's go for e-car. What do we do that it takes to make. You think there's an e-car or solar plant or what name can be built without oil?
No.
So here comes the paradox. And so the question then becomes, how do we innovate ourselves? But the difference is, we talk about the aragonite and all these other different things, these 125 different resources. But right about now, we have enough aragonite on the little Bahama Bank. I didn't even mention the Bahama Bank. The little Bahama Bank by Grand Bahama, 150 billion tons. And we have a few billion tons a year that's deposited on the earth floor, on our ocean floors. There's a whole conversation we need to have about the fact that aragonite actually is the product they're looking for to end ocean acidation, which stops the ocean from being able to dissolve. But that's stuff like that because that's all part of our strategy. And so we got a few billion tons and produce probably 4 or 5 billion tons per year. So, but we're saying they're going to pay us some money for this and that. Just what you say. Howard, the guy is shooting at us. And you say, you know what I'm going to do? You know how we can make some money make some money from the people shooting at us? We're going to start selling bullets. That's carbon credits. Because you're selling carbon credits for you take to the guy that's making the bullets and you say, if you pay me if you buy the bullets from me, you can keep shooting at me. Because we're going to see how much of the bullets we can take.
That's essentially what carbon credits is all about.
Right, and carbon offset. But as I'm saying to you, so the question was, what are we doing to save ourselves? We talk about raising the thing. Let's talk for New Providence, right, or Grand Bahama, whatever. If we look at Grand Bahama and say these areas need to be raised by 3 feet, 4 feet for the next 100, 200, 300 years, well, shouldn't we have a policy to build? We say the islands of the Bahamas is going to disappear. But if we have enough to build another 700 islands, how do we sit around and talk about we're going to disappear? We got political parties that we're going to sell the thing. We're going to sell the lifeboat that we need to sail in. But when you look at ocean monopoly, I'm going to send you that video, and it's on my page. But what it does is that we can actually go, first of all, we should be shoring up the borders. We should be going at the four corners of the Bahamas, like you say, the four corners of the world, and build some little islands that that is habitable for 6 months a year. That then solidifies our boundaries going from 12 miles out. We can even build in our 12 mile and even extend our boundary the way China and the rest of them is doing. Wow. But what it does, it solidifies our location. But then as we innovate, we could shore up these islands that we say we're going to live on and build them above whatever water line coming and whatever else. And so we have no strategy for climate change, for anything.
We don't have no strategy for a great deal.
So this idea that Trump did something affect us, that's a joke. Wow. What Trump did is affect those people who was looking to monetize a new industry that's not going to go away because Trump. If the climate industry is going to be a multi-trillion, $20 trillion, $30 trillion, and the $1 trillion that the United States contributes to it doesn't negate the other 15 trillion or whatever amount of trillion there is. So that still would be a business. The United States just simply saying, we're not going to participate. The United States said, we're going to drill, baby, drill. That then brings the opportunity for innovation, for creativity, for dealing with us. Because understand, we're talking about the ocean economy, the climate economy, the carbon economy, the green economy, the blue economy, the aquamarine economy. We're talking about all these things. All of these are part of it. So what we need is leadership that recognize the opportunity across those 30 different economic models we have while building a better tomorrow and enjoying today. Thank you so much.
I thank you, man. I thank you for your telephone call. Ladies and gentlemen, when we get back, I'm going to be able to talk a little bit about this. I see some stuff in what Sea Island is saying, and I want to talk to you about what I believe is happening in our country as it relates to being able to be concerned about preservation and longevity locally in comparison to being able to chase after this money. Let's talk about that. Quick break. Going to be right back after this.
The Foundation with Howard Grant. We'll be back right after this.
Get to stacking up the flavor at Burger King Nassau with its new Stacker King lineup. It doesn't get any bigger, better, or meatier than the Stacker Kings, which feature bacon, cheese, and a delicious stacker sauce, all piled on as many flame-grilled Whopper patties as you can handle. For the chicken lovers, try the all-new Crispy Chicken Stacker, or pile your mornings high with a croissant stacker loaded with meat sauce on a warm, flaky croissant. Don't miss out on the bold flavors of the Stacker King collection, available at Burger King Nassau.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Boy, why you look so mashed up like clothes at the washer?
No, boy, just a hard day. What?
Hard day? What happened? The breakfast lady ran out of tuna and gritty.
We need to start joking with everything, you know. This serious, boy. This real serious, boy.
Boy, what's serious? Tell me.
All right, well, today, boss gave us, boy, one big contract. And nobody else get a chance and nobody say nothing.
Boy, you know that ain't right. You know government contracts ain't supposed to go that way.
Yeah, but nobody's saying nothing. Boss man just tell people to sign the papers. Then he send me to meet his boy downtown and collect this envelope.
You need to tell somebody. You need to become a whistleblower.
Man, boy, never blow no whistle like be drunk all my life in Jonkono.
No way. A whistleblower is someone who tells people what they see when they see something wrong happening at work.
But I ain't no whistleblower and I ain't no snitch. I still white there, you know.
Boy, ain't nobody can know it's you. All you gotta do is call Crime Stoppers, or you could text them from inside the Crack Crime Bahamas app. They don't ask about you. And your call goes straight through to Miami, so nobody know who you is. And if you text, your message get mixed up like Kong Salad.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, the Foundation, live and in full effect. To piggyback off of what, I want to say something. You got to indulge me 2 seconds. Give me a little space. I often, like I told you, I do this. This is what I do. In the dark of the midnight hour, when everyone's sleeping, or 1 o'clock in the morning, whenever it is that my house is quiet now, praise Jesus, churning and running after me, nobody asking me, do you see the little thing here? Whenever the space is quiet, and I know that everybody's down, and I could be able to find time to myself, I do introspection. I kind of go over my life and the decision I've made, and whether or not I've made decisions that align with my convictions, or if I've gone contrary to those things. And in doing that, I really assess myself, and I've identified myself as anxious. That's like a self-evaluation. And I know that I'm not supposed to be anxious for nothing. I know that my anxiety has placed me in a position, I'm good with numbers, and my anxiety has placed me in the position of being able to juxtapose my age, or the number of my age, to the expected timeline of depletion. I'm a numbers guy in my head, okay? Either very quiet in the morning, very, very quiet this morning. My wife doesn't feel well at all, so I had to touch her back. And I said, wow, we was together for 6,000 and something days. So let's just go with it. I said, wow, we was together for 6,000 some days, maybe 7,000 days. I said, I wonder when these days are going to end. Not in terms of being able to deplete that, but our time comes to an end. Now, there's a time that's allotted to an ending. And that allotment, I always wrestled with that. I've wrestled with the end of a thing, because I don't feel like I've started yet. I wrestle with the end of a thing. And so my anxiety has always placed me in a position to rush something because I know that the end is coming. That a time, whether you want to be able to call it a window, whether or not you want to be able to call it a door, whatever that is, that these things won't always remain open. Whether or not you like to believe that your health is always going to be with you, that your strength is always going to exist, that you will always have help, that you can do this yourself. I'm a weird guy. I'm a weird guy. I am, and I'm okay with it. I think I wonder whether or not I'd be able to live to see X amount of years like my grandfather, like my grandmother. What do I have to do? I shouldn't be in a position where people have to take care of me like this. This is my thought pattern. This is how I think. This is how I think. And because of that, not to die dumb. Oh God, what are you talking about, Howard? I don't want to die a dummy. I don't want to die lousy. I don't want to die another black statistic. I don't want to know that I existed with a fond memory that floats by once a year. I don't want to do that. I want to make an impact with the time that I have. And so I think about it. I think about business. I think about opportunities. I think about all these things, and I become anxious. And so I want to hurry up, do this, and hurry up. Oh, Jesus, I got to hurry up. And so you don't necessarily know this. My family knows this about me. But you don't know this about me. My family knows because I get enraged. Hurry up. They don't know what I rush in for. Not that I see death or anything like that. I'd like to be able to build on something that I introduce, to establish it, that it could equate to a legacy, as opposed to being able to just die and leave this thing for somebody else to deal with. My faith, the Word of God says that a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And so if a dumb man dies, then he leaves nothing for nobody. That's just what it says to me. They have to be juxtaposed. It has a contrast to that. If a wise man dies and he leave these things, he was a wise man. If you had nothing and you can't give your children nothing and you grow with nothing and you was content and you nothing, so what make you think that you can have something? You're stupid. That's just from a biblical standpoint. I'm reading from you, okay? I'm just telling you. Okay. When Ellen started to talk about this sort of an idea how politicians go on, and this is just not for the politicians currently. Now, at the first tenure and the first dispensation of our politicians, that wasn't the same. These were calculated, methodical men that had nationalism tethered to their heart. They were stitched in, baked in. They were one and the same. These men and women were nationalists in many instances. And so they understood delayed gratification. They understood that the necessity for being able to put in work now, to be able to see those particular things grow and mature into something that many can be able to enjoy, delayed gratification, they were content with that. They built that. They understood that. We're fighting right now with instant gratification. Our posture is we want something for us now. And that's the issues that we're having. As a result of this, we find ourselves in this sort of position where a lot of our politicians are anxious because they can see, whether they can sense their time coming to an end. They can sense, And as their time depletes, they need to figure out how I can be able to get something for me now, which is instant gratification, as opposed to being able to understand their responsibility of building something, of being able to build something for the future. I want to talk to you about that. I often say this to you. What I would have gone through and what I often go through, I feel like a lot of us, from a national standpoint, we go through this. I'm anxious, and I wrestle with my anxiousness and ask for patience and build patience to be able to move towards the responsibility, because no man knows the day nor the time. But we do know that there is a day and a time. And so this casual, flippant approach that ignores the country and continues to be able to perpetuate your family, I think more of us who understand this has to reject this type of politics in our life. It's a selfish posture. And instant gratification can't do us anything, any good. We don't have politicians that give us enough of their minds. I don't know who you're giving it to. I don't know who you're giving it to. I just don't know. I don't know who the impartation of knowledge that your CV has indicated you've had based upon the experiences, exposure of business and this and that and your travel and all these things, that based upon what this piece of paper say, what you doing with this information? That's all I had. I just want to ask you that. Who you giving this to? You ain't giving it to us and agitating with the technocrats is giving you on that paper to be able to read. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? And then you try to figure out why we like politicians such as Leslie Miller, or politicians like Fred Mitchell, or politicians that has the guts to be able to say something that's not scripted. Politicians like Glennis Hanna. We look at these people and we elevate them based upon the guts that they have to be able to say the thing that we think in long time. But you here introduced to this new space and regurgitate what technocrats say, who just trying to keep their job because you're all way too political in this country. What are you doing? The country is going nowhere. You're having a conversation with us about the preservation of a system that's being rejected by the people that you look up to on a day-to-day basis. And we have no plan in place to determine the steps that we're going to take next. You anxious, and anxious for the preservation of yourself. You've pursued education, and the only thing you've done that for is to present that on the paper so you can get access to a door that you're absolutely oblivious of how it runs. There are lousy men and women out here that needs to be fired. And this is the year that it's time for us to point them out. We have been casual for far too long. We have been formal for far too long. We've allowed you to dig in with your stupidity as a sycophant for your political organization. We've allowed you to take on this kind of position to be able to try to denigrate us, ill, and wish ill towards us, simply because we don't agree with the politician that your party seeks to put at the forefront. But these men and women have nothing to offer us. Nothing. They don't even have sweet words of nothing. One time ago, the fella know he ain't saying nothing to the girl, baby, you just, and he got the rhythm enough to be able to at least make her think something. Then she gotta quickly catch herself. These gentlemen don't, and ladies don't even have that. Many of them. They have no guts to say the right thing. They have no convictions. We got to get back to this. And it's time for us to point these men out. And I don't want nobody calling me and telling me no stupid things. about, yeah, man, let's get rid of the FNM and the PLP, man. That's why, this organization is the best. What y'all talking about? I don't have the energy for it. I need change now. And that can't work by being able to reject the status quo that exists. It has to work with you being able to do introspection to find the strength within, to make a real decision. We haven't made a real decision in this country from 1992. And I still could debate whether or not that was a real decision. Quick break, gonna be right back after this.
Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The foundation.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
On Saturday, February 22nd, 2025 at 7 p.m., the Baha Convention Center will set the stage for an unforgettable celebration of 25 years of giving back and supporting healthcare education in the Bahamas. Experience a night of excitement with exquisite fine dining, captivating live entertainment, and an inspiring atmosphere as we come together to celebrate and shape a brighter, healthier future. Tickets are available now. Reserve your spot today by emailing dhfoundation@doctorshosp.com or calling 242-302-4640. Sponsorship opportunities are also available to show your support for this important cause. The Doctors Hospital Maya Rassin Foundation. 25 years of transforming healthcare and building a legacy. Don't miss this special celebration.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go right to the telephone line. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Good day, Howard.
Hey, what's
How you
happening?
doing?
All is well?
Yeah, you say they're taking care of themselves because they feel they're at the end of the rope, right?
Yeah, they know that they don't feel that, They know.
Okay,
No, hold on, wait. This ain't about age. This is about time. They don't have no more time. They are not going to be in the public light no more. They got to come out here, hurry, get something for themselves before everybody fire them. That's what it is.
Yeah, do you feel like you really benefit from that BPL scam?
What you mean for the sale? The sale? Benefit in which way?
I asking you, do you feel the average person really benefiting from what they have out there? Because they haven't given us any explanation as yet as to the details of that scam, right? That BPL scam, that 25-year scam, right?
Well, I can be honest with you. I don't feel that I have benefited from anything that the government has offered the country for a very long time. I don't feel like we've benefited.
And that's a 25-year deal. And they offered that to 0.5% of the population. We have 400,000 in population, and they said you had to have $50,000 at least, right? And 2,000 persons times 50,000 would have raised the 100,000 that they wanted to put along with their little 39 or 40,000 that the special group came up with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really a scam that 99.5% of the Bahamian people was not invited to participate. That sounds mathematically correct, right?
It's a scam that they wasn't allowed. Okay, so
I call it a scam because it was only offered when they say you have to come up with $50,000. 2,000 persons times 50,000 would have raised $100,000 they wanted to raise.
Listen,
$100 million dollars, right?
But what I'm saying to you is that doesn't necessarily negate. Okay. If you could participate if you got it.
If you got it. But they only wanted, see, when they say that, they only was inviting 2,000 persons. each of the 2,000 persons coming up with $50,000 equated to $100 million they were trying to raise.
So you're saying that it was already a closed circuit from they started. They knew who they wanted to be in this thing. Okay, go ahead. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to fight you. Go
That's
ahead.
99.5% of the population that they wasn't interested in your money, because if your son was my godchild and I wanted to say put on $5,000 and purchase some trust to help take care of him, I couldn't participate on his behalf even though he's below the age.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That means you're not invited to participate. So that's against 99.5% of the population, with their 0.5% offering to only 2,000 persons to participate. That sounds like being prejudicial, pejorative, or discriminatory against the whole masses of the Bahamian people, because the average household, husband and wife, you think across the board in this country, the husband makes $25,000 a year and the wife makes $25,000 a year, Howard?
Not the average household in this country, no.
Okay, so then why your money? Just find the money to pay the light bill. I think that should be challenged. I don't know about those opposition lawyers, if they start thinking something like that is discriminatory, I think.
I like what you said.
Okay.
I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so kindly for your telephone call. At the end of the day, it's time for someone to be able to advocate for the Bahamian people. Too often, I see people go off to school and find themselves wrapped in fraternity to be able to come back, kind of scooch up and nestled under the relationship of their parents or their grandparents, to find themselves interns in certain positions, or a lawyer here, or doing this or doing that, and find themselves wrapped in the monotony of what we've been agitating against for a very long time. And you just find it, hey, this is just a part of my survival. This is just a part of my survival. This community is a closed circuit. And there are two circuits working in here. Now, one is a nucleus. And as we that continue to be able to run around and run around and run around to be able to keep this thing energized, we're locked out. We're locked out. There are little to no opportunities here for us to be able to thrive. And we keep choosing politicians that will not stand for us. I don't need nobody grandstanding. I don't need no one cussing. I don't need no one shooting gun. I don't need no one using vulgarity in terms of being able to cuss someone out just to be able to show that I'm strong in this, and I got to let y'all know that this hour is beep, beep, beep talk, and I don't need that. I need studied, poised, and a deep, methodical approach to being able to unravel the mess and be able to sit down and speak to the Bahamian people. Not shaken, not stirred, but straight. I need that. This is what I need from politicians. I don't need you to be hitting me with, I don't need none of that from you. I need you to be educated. I need you to be wise, man. Many of y'all let us down, and many of you will see yourself fired. We're going to take our time out this year, to identify who here at the foundation, who we support. It's going to be a mix, FNM, PLP, maybe even COI. We're going to put that out there. These are the people that we support for a brighter Bahama land. And there are some people that we will suggest that needs to get out of politics for good. Now, you may not necessarily like that, and I ain't coming for your character and your position, but what you've presented is not worth the time of the Bahamian people. We've had enough of this. This is 2025. The Palisades on fire. They're trying to be able to fight in Palace. But listen, this is too much. This is too much. The world is pursuing different elements. And we're right here under the shadow of the United States of America, and we're trying to be able to operate from a traditional standpoint and listening to people who are elevated in their position in this country, not know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know what the hell they saying. They listen into world news. They can see what's happening on the ground and still talking a bunch of stupidness. This is where we are in this country. This is where we are. These people are elevated and speaking to the world oblivious of how to be able to see the country in a proper position. How you can to the prime minister in this posture? How? It's enough of this. We can dive deeper in this thing tomorrow. We've done with the forgiveness series. I want to be able to thank my good friends, Garth Roseborough, for being able to sit in with me yesterday. And on Tuesday, my very good friend, Ambassador Devin Rowe, for being able to sit in for me and wrap up this series and start this kind of a conversation of where the country needs to be able to move. I want to thank you guys so very kindly for that. This is The Foundation. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday, right here on 96.9 FM. See you tomorrow. God spare.
The Foundation.